Yo, welcome to another episode of Control the Narrative. I am your host, Sir Bay, also known as Streets, and I have two special guests with me today. My brother Floyd, aka DJ MacGyver. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day today. And my other good brother Black, also known as SoundOracle. Thank you, good brother. Welcome to the show, fellas. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
Good. So, man, we're in Atlanta right now, man. We just got in town. SoundOracle was kind enough to let us in the house, man. I really want to thank you, bro, for allowing me to come into your space.
Oh, man, you family.
Yeah, no, you fam, bro.
Yeah, you family,
you fam, bro. You fam. Yo.
Yes,
we go back, bro. So
we do.
Let's dig into your story, man, because I'm all about connecting these dots.
Okay.
So before we get into your story, I want to ask a question, man, because you're a revered producer, a sound architect, a beat maker, a craftsman. There's so many dope aspects about you. Do you feel right now that producers are still underrated or undervalued in the industry?
Not at all.
Okay.
Actually, right now, producers are kind of at the forefront. Producers are the equivalent of what the DJ used to be. Remember how the DJ, it was all about the DJ. The rapper was just the hype man.
Right.
But now, because think about how many hits back in the day, like, that as a kid, you have no idea who produced those joints.
Right.
Outside of, like, Michael Jackson.
Right.
Quincy Jones did that. You learned that later. But
right.
The producer was kind of just under the thing. Now the producer could be the whole thing. You'll have a banging producer with a name and an artist with no name. Right. And the record will still go.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so you think that producers are not undervalued, not underrated. You think there's a good consensus of understanding that, hey, we need the producers. They're valuable. They're the foundation of what we do, and we got to treat them right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not only are they not undervalued, I think it's important to note they're not overvalued either.
Okay.
Like, it's not somebody out there that's producing that's just like super trash and he's like a household name and he's just getting the bag and for the most part the people's names that are ringing bell, like, they're good.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I think it's a nice balance right now.
Okay. Floyd, so DJ MacGyver, how do you feel about the same question? Like, do you feel producers, because you're a producer too, you're not just a DJ, you're a producer,
It's about the same thing that he said. It's the producers used to be the DJs.
Right.
So used to be, from prime majority of when you started listening to music, all the producers were DJs.
Yeah.
DJ Premier, P Rock, they all started off as that because they was the one that knew how to deal with the time stretching and adding different elements in with two different records.
Yeah. And
then it became recording, so then it just switched around with production being a lot easier. Same thing. Okay. I know how to do music. I got the beats.
Yeah.
I may not even DJ at all, but I know how to put together these beats.
Yeah.
And all I need is somebody to rap.
Yeah. That's true game. Okay, dope, man. I was just interested because the climate that we in right now, man. People, I've seen a lot of campaigns about producers like coming together doing unions, and I've seen a lot of producers feeling like they ain't getting they just doing credit. Some of it is just bad business. Some of it is lack of education. Some of it is just people getting raped. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big mixture, man. But speaking about production, what got you into production? Like, was making beats and producing your first love? Was it your first passion, or was it something that came down the line?
You could say it was my first love. I wanted to rap when I was a kid. Like most kids, you hear rappers and you want to rap. So I did that for a while, and pretty good if I must say so myself.
Okay, hold up. So Black got bars. Side note. Okay.
Oh, that's a fact. Right. But I retired at the tender age of 14.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? But I just got intrigued with the music, and then I kind of learned about sampling and stuff. You know how it is. Yeah. I know you grew up with it too. You hear certain stuff in your house, and then you hear a record with the same thing that your mom. You're like, wait, hold up. And then that just intrigued me so much. I started buying records. I didn't have any production equipment. I didn't even know how production worked, but I just knew samples. And I was like, oh, you could buy old records and hear dope shit in them. So and that's just what I did. And
wow.
Yeah, and then finally I was able to get some equipment. I used to do pause mixes with tapes.
Yeah.
Then I got a DJ sampler, the 8-second Joe. Used to tap it out and overdub and all that type of stuff. Yeah. And I finally got some real equipment, and I don't know, man. It was just
gone from there. Yeah. Gone from there. So did you have any like aha moments, or I call them eureka moments or aha moments, like, yo, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, you know, like.
Yeah, I kind of knew in my mind. I'm like, yo, the stuff I'm thinking of, I think it's pretty good. But then I never forget my man JB from Alexandria, Virginia. I was in school. It was like during lunch, and I did this song. I was with this crew out of Burke, Virginia, called Team Demolition. So I had a song I was rapping on. My man did the beat for me, and we was gonna put some cuts on it. I was thinking of the cuts I wanted on the song, so I'm sitting there and I'm doing like this outside the lunchroom, and he's like, "Yo, what you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm listening to the song." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Oh shit, I produce." I'm like, "What?" At the time, it was like unheard of. So I went to his house. And we developed a relationship, and shortly after, maybe a few months after, you know, I just used to chill. And then him and his brother was playing a video game in the other room, and he's like, "Yo, just mess around on the equipment," and I made a beat, and it was fire too.
Man, he said it was fire. Like, it
was fire. And then so him and his brother came in, and he was like, "Yo, I thought you didn't know how to use no equipment." I was like, I didn't. And but I knew I could read it. It just made sense to me.
Right.
Like, okay, sound, record, overdub, tape, stop the tracks. Like, it just, I understood it.
All right, so Floyd MacGyver brought me to your studio for the first time. We met when you had your studio over there by Fort Meade.
Right.
Now, like, what got you to that point? Now, because first off, that was one of the dopest studios that's ever been in that area. Like, the whole layout was, I was floored. What my man, I was flabbergasted. Like, I was flabbergasted. I was like, yo, this is right, because you got the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know the area up there, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, I'm like, yo, 1, 2, your production, even at that point, was at a level that I didn't even know existed. Like, bro, it was, I couldn't believe, yo. I'm like, I couldn't believe it, bro.
Thank you.
And like, see, y'all are like production, tech, geek heads. Y'all really in it, man. So like, y'all are mad scientists when y'all in there.
Man, me and my man to talk about chords for an hour.
Yeah, come on, yo. So that's a whole nother world that everybody's not able to tap into, you know. So what spawned that studio at that time, at that location?
That studio actually was already there.
Okay.
It was already there, and I knew the person that had it, and I think I came to Atlanta for the first time, and I left.
Okay.
And I was living in Virginia for a while, and then they're like, "Yo, we got the studio. Yo, just come through," and I just started coming through, you know, suddenly making beats. I ain't had nothing really going on in my life at the time, so I just started being there every day, and then it was kind of like, oh man, you know, kind of like going into business. It was just a thing that I was just going to be there, but then it kind of became known as like my studio too.
Okay, right, because you was there all the time.
Yeah, and that's really what it was. But that studio was there before me, so I can't take credit for that.
Oh no, dope. Yeah, I mean, just the reason I was brought there is because of you, and then to find the studio, because I actually was living in the area. So all right, so boom, all right, so you was just coming to that spot. You know, it was availability, the layout, so on and so forth. So from what you did there, what dot did that connect to in the next step of your journey from that point? Like, from after the studio, what happened to Black? Where'd you go? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, so after the studio, so I think it's important to know all my stuff got stolen out of the studio.
Facts, no, yeah.
Let's
control the narrative. Let's get to that part, because I don't want to miss notes, because you know you got to pardon me, because I want it, but there's certain parts. You right. Oh my god.
I had just met MacGyver shortly before that. Maybe a couple months before that.
Yeah, it was definitely a couple months. Yeah, definitely a couple months, because I got brought in. This was, I guess, right after I got out of school. So I brought in. I was like the intern. I found him like
that's what
Craigslist.
you doing. Yeah.
And I was like, studio up the street. What the fuck is this shit?
Right.
Let me go up the street real fast. And then it was like a full studio.
Yeah, like right there.
So, you know what I mean? I guess it was about a couple months, because the studio got robbed. Yeah, everything was kind of going good.
Yeah.
Because we had just had Bone Thugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And before that was
Wayne.
Wayne.
Yep.
Johnny Breeze and them with the
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
I did that record, that dipping record for Wayne.
Yeah.
So
everything was good. I just got back from Bahamas and.
So all right,
got back from Bahamas and I walked into the room and I was just like, I was ready. You know when you be gone for a week and you gone from production, you be doing this shit like I'm still working, but I'm like, I can't wait to get back in the other room, the little B room. That's the room I was working in. I mean, I was like, can't wait to get back home. Bro. I got back in that joint, bro. Like, I'm getting back with the Bahamas. I already dropped Shorty off. I'm like, all right, I know Black's up in there. That's where the fuck he was at.
Right.
Walk up in that bitch. I was just like, damn, why niggas look like this?
Yeah.
What y'all moving?
No.
What the fuck happened?
It was like that, cuz.
My heart was broken. I ain't gonna lie, yo. So, all right, boom. So, dang. So that happens.
So then, my man, Brian Kidd. Shout out to my homie Brian Kidd.
Salute.
He was down here in Atlanta. He's like, man, you should just come down here to Atlanta again. And I was like, I don't know. Now, keep in mind, the mindset, all your stuff got stolen.
Yeah.
Someone was like, it's a good opportunity down here. And I was still reluctant, like, for some reason, like, I don't know if I want to. Anyway, I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, oh, man, you talking about come down to Atlanta, whatever. She's like, oh, well, when we going? And I was like, oh, I ain't know. Yeah. But so lo and behold, I'm like, all right, cool. Man up, we're going to go to Atlanta. And the plan was I was just going to make it in music. You know?
Yeah.
She was going to get the job. And I was going to be out trying to find a way.
Right.
Crazy enough, dog, it took about 90 days. So think about it, all this time in one area, and this is pre-popping internet.
Right.
You could do it now.
Yeah, right.
From kind of,
right there.
it still benefits to be here, but you could do it from anywhere.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was right on the cusp before that.
MySpace popping.
Yeah, but still, even MySpace wasn't like how it is now. But that was the
and
first
Facebook
seed.
was out. Facebook was new.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, MySpace was the seed. It definitely was the seed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
but so anyway, came down here. And 90 days, and I ended up hooking up with Polow Da Don.
Polow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to Polow Da Don, man.
Because Floyd always keep me plugged in. Yo, Black doing this, so they got the I
the Rich Boy sample.
Yeah.
The Rich Boy sample.
Yeah. So
with the Puerto Rican lady.
Brian did that one.
But that was off that hard drive.
Yeah. Yeah. It was on that hard drive. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, and then. I was in the studio and I played beats with Polow. I never forget, man. It was raining like a mug that night, and he said he would take the meeting with me, but I got to the front. He was like, "Oh, he in the session. You gotta wait outside." To wait outside. It was like pouring rain, so like 2 hours, but I had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
So then I came in, and funny enough, I met G. Roberson. He was sitting there on the couch. I didn't really even know who he was. Like he was popping, but I didn't even know. So. And then I went back in the studio. I played beats for Polow. He loved them. He was like, man, these beats are dope. But he's like, these sounds, man, like, where you get these sounds from and these drums and all that? I was like, I make them. He's like, what do you mean you make them? I was like, oh, man, like, I'll show you. So he's like, yo, can you do this for me? And I was like, yeah, bet. And then from there, I had something popping.
Right.
And he went to L.A. shortly after that, a few months after that, and he called me. And he was like, yo, man, I'm in LA. Can you come out? I had never been to LA before.
Okay. Dope.
Once again, my mindset at the time was I was a little reluctant for whatever reason. Crazy story. Guess who was at my house down in Atlanta when Polow called me with the LA call? Remember Be Rich?
Be Rich. Yeah, Be Rich.
Yeah.
So he was with you. Wow.
He just happened to live down here, and somebody put me in touch with him, and so for a very brief time, we was cool.
Right.
Cause I ain't know nobody really down here like that. So I was from back in Baltimore.
Yeah, you from home and shit.
Yeah. So, but I was like, yeah, let's go to LA. He's like, yo, man, that sounds crazy. You gonna go? I was like, I don't know. He's like, what you mean? You don't know? I was like, yeah. So anyway, I ended up going.
Okay.
fast forward, I'm going out there a couple months, and then I was telling this story one day. I got off the plane. I'm telling this story about the plane. He's like, "Oh, you gotta tell my man this story." Polo's like, "You gotta tell my man this story." So we go in the kitchen. His man is Timbaland.
Oh.
So I was like, "Oh shit, it's Tim." So I tell the story. We laughing and shit.
Right.
And then Tim come in the studio later, and he listened to the beats, and he's like, "Damn, Polo, what's up with these sounds?" He's like, "Yo, this dude right here." So then Tim called me. He was either that night or the next day, like, "Yo, I don't know what you're doing for Polo, but can you do the same thing for me?"
Dope.
And I'm like, "All right, bet." Now I'm popping. So that was the next step from Heat Studios when all the stuff got stolen, and I left and came there.
So that's kind of like that's kind of like how negative things can create positive.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's
forces.
Negative forces can create.
When you have reluctant, stubborn people who are stubborn to change.
Where does that come from? Why do you feel you're reluctant? Why are you stubborn to these changes?
I think humans in general, men specifically, aren't really usually very adapted to change.
Yeah.
And I just may be a little further on the spectrum than other people.
That makes sense.
What was.
Yeah, okay.
Because after having more than one thing occur in my life like that, I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, see, and that's what I talk about in my book. It's about the dots connecting. It's the aha. See, you have to go through it first, but once you get to that stage of awareness or enlightenment where you can look back and say, oh, bing, ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
So, and another thing I want to ask you is like, what got you into being an architect and creator and shaper of sound? Just like when you see, even to this day, a lot of producers don't understand what you're saying when you say like, yo.
yeah.
So what got you into that? And what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Okay. Here's the best analogy I can make for it. If music is cooking, if you're a producer, you're a chef.
Okay.
If you're a sound designer, you're a farmer. I happen to be a farmer and a chef.
Okay.
I can grow the food, make the sounds, blah blah blah. Right. Then make the dish with the
whoop whoop whoop. So okay. So that the farmer lane, who are the people in that circle that because I mean you don't hear about these people. Like you don't hear about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be honest with you, bro. Like y'all, you're farming. The farmers ain't getting the credit though. So it's like, yo,
you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to? Are you not supposed to? Do you feel like you're not supposed to?
Defeat the purpose.
Well, once again, it's back to the producer DJ dynamic. It's a shift now to where people are, because when I was doing this for Tim and Polo, it wasn't too many people I knew. Like it wasn't like a thing. But now you got people with sample packs everywhere and all that stuff. Yeah, I've been doing that for a long time now.
Facts.
But long.
They're not the same thing though.
No.
Yeah, like I always tell people, like, sample packs are cool, but the way that you go about getting the sound isn't unique. So I can find another thing that sounds like that. Or there's probably just that sound, and I could just play that sound.
Yeah, but So anyway, that's the way I got into that. Was just making music. Like I said, when I started making music, I didn't really know too much about how music was made. I knew it was samples, I knew it was drums, and I was good at samples. I knew where things came from. Right. So I had to figure out, like, okay, how did they get it to do it? And I'm like, okay, I get it, because it comes from being a nerd too.
Yeah,
you know
okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's roots there. Like, like, is anybody in your family musically, gifted, or it was in the music industry, or nobody?
Nope.
So you're you're the one that wow, that's unique, bro.
And it's all I ever wanted to do.
Wow.
Win or lose. And up until maybe the last 10 years, it's been mostly lose.
Yeah. No, that's
it was still my thing.
It's your passion. It's your passion. It's your gift. It's your passion, and it's a part of your life purpose too. I mean, like you are winning. Like, do you feel like where you're at now, at this point in time and space, do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel that? Like, I mean, do you feel fulfilled at this point? Or do you feel that, like, there's still a burning, you know what I mean? Like,
nah, I don't feel fulfilled at this point.
That's honest. No doubt.
But I know what it is now. Okay, so here it is. The initial goal, like most people or producers coming up, I want to produce records for big artists and get on the radio and get money for it.
Right.
So, cool. I chased that forever. It kind of didn't happen. It wasn't until I met Polo that I realized how important sound designer was, or I even realized that I was sound designer. I was just making a lot of stuff for me to make beats, and I made a lot of beats, so I needed a lot of sounds.
You make a lot of beats.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, oh, I can just go here and buy this and buy that shit didn't exist. So I'm like, man, I'm get in here and make it do what it do.
Right.
And I just done it for so long. And I used to just do it as like, it became second nature. I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I have more than enough now, but I always felt like I'm doing this for a reason. I just don't know what the reason is, but I'm just going to keep doing it. So then when I met them, that all those years of building up and doing that for whatever reason, that became my product that I didn't even know I was building.
Woo, the product that he didn't even know he was building. Bro, bars.
So then think about, I'm like, all right, the sound, I got a ton of that. Then it became about the beats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your beats are dope too. Then the thing I was chasing initially, placements with big artists, getting on the radio.
Right.
That came pretty much around the same time. I think after I met Polow, I got a placement with Christina Aguilera.
Wow.
And then I did.
I didn't know that.
50 Cent. And at the time, it was a lot of stuff, man. I was working on a lot of stuff. But all this time, I was like in Baltimore in the studio, like just making beats. I ain't no business about myself.
Right.
My mindset wasn't right.
Right.
It's like, it's not about.
So when did that click? When did that switch? When did that switch go off? Like, yo, nah, I can't keep rocking like this. I got to get this entrepreneurial scope, this business hat on. You know what I'm saying?
I was already working with Tim and Polow for years. And there was a friend of mine. He was like, I want to start a business. He's kind of going through stuff. He's like, I want to start a business, man. Just do something. And I was like, all right, cool. That's ambitious. I'll start one with you.
That's dope.
He didn't start this, but I did.
Okay.
And it just happened to be the sample packs.
Oh.
Because when I'm moving around with Tim and Polow, you know, they have sessions with people, and then when people found out what I did, they were like, yo, can I get some sounds? Can I get some sounds? And I was always like, no.
Right.
No, for whatever reason, I was just super loyal to those two.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm good. And after years and years and years of that, I knew that people would want that because the biggest producers in the game I've been coming across have been asking me for this.
Right.
So
the demand is there.
Yeah, so I'm like, plus I'm in the computers. I made beats on them and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm sitting in front of a computer. I don't have anything on the internet, like no internet business, no nothing. And so I was like, damn, I'm gonna build a website.
Yeah.
I ain't know nothing about websites. So.
Yeah.
But I built the website. And prior to that though, my man Trizza, shout out to Trizza.
Shout out to the salute. He
came to the crib, and I'm making beats, and I make beats in a different type of way. And he's like, yo, you should put this on Instagram. And I was like, really? Because once you keep doing something, you just think like, this is just how I do it.
Yeah, so you rocking.
Yeah, and I don't know what other people are doing.
Right.
But he's like, yo, you should put it on Instagram. So I bought a GoPro, put it on Instagram, and then my Instagram like just straight took off. So I started making videos, and it took off. So at that point, and nobody knew really who I was.
Right.
For real.
Right.
But they're like, yo, these beats are crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm sound designer for Timbaland.
Yeah.
And Polow Da Don. And he was like, what to do with the crazy beats is the
connect
thing.
The dots. Connect some dots. Let's connect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So then it went up. So after that, it was easy for me to try to launch the sample pack thing. I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know e-commerce at the time.
Right.
So I was like selling in the DMs, not in a sleazy way.
Right.
But it was legit, and I was like, people was legit buying them. So I'm like, yo, I got the website popping, and then I became cool with Brian Michael Cox. He promoted my first pack. Like, he just gave me a shout on Instagram.
That's dope.
My man Cosign from the interns. They did a lot of stuff. Nicki Minaj, Anaconda, Rihanna, Cake, and all that stuff.
Okay.
They shouted it out too.
Dope.
And then sold, man. I ain't even really have like proper e-commerce or nothing. I was fulfilling orders on my text like as they came in.
Yeah,
I ain't know about.
If you miss one,
I mean, now it's all set up.
It's beautiful good, though. It's like you learn where you go. Now, did that lead to the scaling up to where you guys are at now in regards to you got the Unquantized podcast, you have the Power Summit, the Producer Power Summit, which we're gonna be at tomorrow. You guys are gonna get bits and pieces of that, so stay tuned. But did that lead into that, or how did that begin? What seeded that?
So funny enough, everything up to this point has been really organic.
Right.
The way this podcast came about was Instagram Live came out.
Right.
And we're like, yo, me and Trizza. Trizza's like, yo, you seen this live joint? And I'm like, no. We're like, oh, we should go on this and just like
what you do,
see what it's about.
Yeah.
So we went on. It was people in that joint, and so we just started talking.
Right.
And we were like, yo. So after a couple of weeks of doing that, we were drinking Jameson.
Yeah.
Jameson back there.
So you see Jameson in the back.
Go and grab some.
Yeah.
But so that became a thing. So we would go live consistency is key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consistency is key. So every Friday we would just go live, drink some Jameson, talk about producer shit.
Right.
And I already had a following at the time. I think at the time my following might have been like 35,000. So it was a decent audience in there. And we would get on there for 6 hours, dog.
Woo!
6 hours and just talk producers and drink James. We used to drink the whole bottle. We don't do that anymore. It takes us a couple shows to get through a bottle, but we used to drink a whole bottle per show.
Wow.
And one of the things we used to talk about was, hey, should we make this a podcast? Like talking to the audience.
Yeah, engage right there. Real life engagement.
Yeah. So, and like, y'all should, or what should we name it? So for a couple of weeks, it's like, what will we name the podcast?
Yeah.
So it was really built by the
dope,
people.
Man, that's so dope, bro.
Yeah. So that's why the community, if you've never been on the podcast, you kind of won't get what I'm saying. But when you get in there, you see like, you never been in a live joint where like everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a clubhouse. It's like
it's like going into a church or something.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, man. I'm excited to go to this event tomorrow. So can you kind of like break down just the overall synopsis or the theme of the second annual producer summit that we're going to be attending tomorrow?
Well, what it is, it's more than just like a seminar or a conference. It's kind of like an extension of the Unquantized podcast. But me and Trizza, more or less, and for people that don't know, our podcast is totally interactive. We talk like through the Instagram Live. We talk to the crowd. They ask us questions, and we answer the questions. Yeah. And we don't hold back.
Yeah.
It's gems. People, how do I do this? Oh, you got to do this, do that. Like people DM us all the time. Like y'all just giving too many like in a negative way.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, wow, what? But anyway, the summit is more or less an extension of that. It's us, but now it's panelists.
Okay.
Like for instance, we're gonna have an attorney, a music attorney there.
Oh wow.
We're gonna have some Instagram influencers. My man Busy Works Beats is gonna be on the panel. His YouTube is like 500,000.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We're gonna have A&Rs there.
Oh man.
But it's the same format now. It's a live crowd. We in the room, and all of these people. The panelists aren't by mistake. Either, and we have engineers too. It's because we study the community and we often ask them what they need.
Right.
So the things that they want to know about, we make sure we put experts in each of those categories. So now you can freely just ask away in real time.
Man, that's priceless. That's so valuable, bro.
Yeah, and even afterwards, now you get to talk to the person, shake their hands, exchange
a relationship. Yeah, network.
Yeah, and it's not a stuffy vibe because it's the vibe of the podcast.
Yeah,
everybody gonna have a little Jameson. We're gonna tell some jokes.
Yeah, that's
gonna be funny.
Jameson life. Yeah, come on, bro.
We also doing beat critiques. You know?
Okay, that's hot.
Yeah, so some people
I can't wait to see that.
Get their beats critiqued by a professional engineer, by an A&R. You know what I mean? In a real life scenario.
Yeah.
Then we have live in studio beat cook up where we're gonna have some stations set up, and then the people that are participating in that can come through, and you just kind of everybody just kind of jam out.
Okay, so this is a whole experience. You can't even call it. It's an experience from top to bottom, yo. An experience. Priceless experience.
Yeah, if you're a producer,
that's
a real price on it, but it's a price on it. It's a price on it though.
But you know what's funny, man? This is the second one we did here. We've done one in New York with BusyWorks Beats. We did one in LA too with BusyWorks. And not only do the people come out, there are people that have been to all of them.
Oh wow, yeah, I can only imagine. And it's only gonna get bigger.
Yeah,
bro.
And these people are from all over. We have Canada, LA, Seattle, just everywhere.
It's gonna get crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna get crazy. I mean, like Floyd, man, he's been keeping me up to date on all your moves, and now the Instagram's out, because I can watch real time now. But I mean, he's been championing for you to do these type of things for I don't know how long, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yo,
man. Let me tell you something. Every time he calls me, I answer the phone. My man don't even say hello. He say, yo, you know what you need to do? Am I lying?
Yes. Here you go.
Yo, you know what you need to
do? Hey,
back over.
Bro, when the Instagram started, I used to have to sneak and take videos.
That is a fact. Yeah. He would be at my crib while I'm making beats.
I'd be like, look.
And he on the phone like,
the juice.
Yeah.
Bro, I would be videotaping stuff. I turn my, and this is back when we only had 10 seconds.
This is the short.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I see my joint. I see my page lit. Like,
and it's not the stories because it wasn't no Instagram stories.
No stories.
This is the
straight.
feed.
He
posted them straight to the feed.
I didn't even know how to tag stuff. Like, I'm gonna be for real with you. Like for a minute, like when I took my turn, there wasn't no I think we were the Ableton. Nah, I mean, if you was gonna hashtag something, majority of the times you was gonna see me or him up in there.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Because nobody was doing Ableton. There was, but people were doing Ableton that were doing different music. Because it was more EDM bass, Euro. You know what I mean? It's very easy to go with that Ableton live. You could do it live, aka while you're working with DJing and stuff. So, but nobody was really doing it. So when he was doing all this stuff, I'd be like, yo, I gotta sneak in watches. So I would do it ill, because he would be so shy, because real talk, like Andre 3000, had asked about him and was like, oh, the nigga that live in Atlanta. I'm like, yeah, but no, ain't nobody seen him.
He's mythical behind.
He was real live Ghost.
Like
real live, because the first time we met Brian Michael Cox.
That was Brian. Yep.
We went out to
Southside
Studio with Jermaine Dupri. Okay. I was just boosting because I just wanted to play basketball.
Or the
somebody was in there because I would have gave him work. But he was. I could see the look in Brian's face, and I don't even know what, because at the stories get bigger than what they are by then. So him coming over there and being the way he is, still like in ghost mode,
low key,
it's like
quiet, modest.
I don't get this.
Wait, hold on.
You could be doing big. You don't even want to do nothing. Okay, because like I said, I would never put his face on the video. It would just be the lower hands, some hands moving, or you just see some equipment or a screen or my screen with him in the background. Like it would never be him. It was
like Wilson from with the fans.
To this day, but that's so dope that you built your brand so organically.
It was literally 200 people at first.
269 people to be specific.
Okay. Wow. Yep. 269. And half of them came from Facebook friends and
high school.
And some other music people, because it wasn't really still that bag. Instagram wasn't the bag yet. I seen the bag. Because I was like, yo,
he is on
doing this.
He's getting my nerves talking every week about
I've been sitting in the chair watching him do stuff for at least since 08 almost. Since 08. So I've always seen this shit. And I'm like, damn, this shit hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We gotta videotape this shit.
Yeah.
And I even made a video one time. Remember when
You
I
did.
made a video in the
You did.
I was like, because he made made a beat out of the toilet flushing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the I remember that joint.
Yeah, it was a beat with the toilet flushing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna videotape this joint. I was trying. That's what I was figuring out how to do. I was in Richmond when I actually
I remember
loaded
that.
it.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yo, it's so crazy to see how fast the internet has evolved just within that time frame, bro. Just with it, like even right now, I'm shooting with this iPhone X. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the whole spill, like the technology is about to get crazier and crazier and crazier, bro. So, do y'all anticipate that? Like, do y'all think it's a good thing? Do you think that's something that we need to just stay balanced and monitor, or it's just like free range right now? Like,
it's good.
It's very good.
It let people learn, but it also still hides the real secrets. Most of the shit I learned from him and seen him doing, we were doing this shit before all of these programs could let you do it.
Yeah.
Before a program was doing it for you automatically.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really took you to find a sample, chop it up, and stretching it, and then having to go with each key that we're playing with to do something else besides
that took work. People could not figure that out. They were like,
they still couldn't figure. If they didn't have these programs right now, they still couldn't figure it out. So like I said, it's cool. People can do this, but they really don't know how whatever they're doing is done.
Yeah.
So it still is more knowledge in that, and it's valuable because you can do a lot more stuff if you knew exactly how.
You gotta reverse engineer stuff. If you break stuff down, it's not really that tough. Like I posted that video the other day. Jay Black was in here and posted a video, and I got some of my songs where I'm like scratching on the keyboard, and it sounds like I know how to cut for real. So
he's been doing this shit for 10 years. He'll never give me the little pass cheat code, bro. I had to go out and really that was at the time where I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm just really just going to DJ.
Right. I'm
gonna go buy.
And then you went hard in that.
But it's real, man. But it just comes from, like you said, knowing. Like if you know how to cut and you know the theory behind it of pitch and frequency, and when I do this, it sounds like this. When I do that, it sounds like that, and then you just.
No, it sounds better than
it is more controlled too.
It's
but
way more precise.
Yeah. But if you just look at what you have and you're like, all right, how can I make this do that? And that's the way I approach everything from my first piece of equipment or stereo that I use as equipment. It's just, how can I make this happen from what I have? That's just the whole.
Yeah.
I'm not even reading the directions.
It's alchemy. It's alchemy, bro. It's alchemy.
Everybody doesn't think like that though. Like I've noticed that, like real talk, like okay,
it's alchemy.
I know me and you were the type that I seen this VCR. Here, I put tapes in this VCR. I watched this VCR. What the fuck is in this fucking VCR?
Facts. I got to get in the VCR.
Y'all. I seen this VCR 100 times. I seen mad tapes pop in and out.
Right.
I want to know what's in there, but there was no internet.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no internet, and to find a book on that, like I'm 4, I'm 6.
Yeah, no, it's hands on, baby.
Yo, you know what a screwdriver do? There you go.
It's right there. It's right there.
Get this top off.
I learned about magnets as a kid from taking the phone apart. The old phone. I'm like,
yo, put a battery in your mouth. I put battery in my mouth, bro. Yo.
But it comes from being inquisitive. It comes from wanting to.
No more.
Facts.
And I like having something limited and just make it do what people
didn't even imagine. It gives a whole nother perception and dimension that they weren't able to see.
Right, before. Like Ableton, man. Back in the day, I'm like, how can I hook this gain controller up to Ableton and make beats with the gain controller? How can I make the program like
he used to talk to Ableton. The lady used to talk. The lady used to talk back.
Yeah, and Ableton don't do that. But I was like, it came from.
Ableton don't do that. Yo, Ableton flew over here from Germany.
The people from Ableton.
Real Caucasian flew over here from Germany, sat in here.
Wow.
And had the more dumber look on his face when the lady talked back to him. Like, hold on, we didn't make it do that.
Yo, you are an anomaly. You are wow.
That was funny. It came from I used to do these monthly challenges where I would try to challenge myself to do something every month. It was a Rubik's Cube before that. I drove my wife crazy, but I was nice with finishing the Rubik's Cube.
Right.
And then I was trying to think of a challenge, and I was watching Iron Man. And I love Jarvis. I'm like, man,
my man Jarvis.
I wish I could make one of those. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
that should be the challenge for this month. Try to make a Jarvis. So what I did was I just learned like a little bit of code from like free little programs. Like, put it like this.
Like it's nothing.
It's not because it's like writing.
Okay.
Like the first thing I wanted to learn is write a code to where I could press a key and it will open a notepad and type hello.
Okay.
I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can understand the mechanics. The math behind it. And so, it's like words. If you could write letters, you could write words. You write words. You write sentences. Yeah. Paragraphs. Eventually, I wrote a book.
Up and okay.
So I'm like, cool. I could make these buttons and it'll do things that I want to make sure it did stuff that Ableton wasn't originally programmed to do. So I'm like, bet I got that. I'm like, damn, what if I could talk to it? So I figured, like hook it up and then just make the phrases say do the things that I was physically doing. I'm like, yo, that's dope. I'm like, yo, what if that joint could talk back to me? Woo! So figured out the speech engine, got the speech engine joint jumping, figured out what programs I needed real quick, and this is all with free stuff. And then I'm like, boom, now it could talk back to me. Nice voice too.
Yo, what? So you was had like the first Siri, the first Alexa before?
Yo, he was trying. He was becoming lazy within.
Yo, you an ill dude.
His search.
Laziness breeds innovation.
What this thing does.
You an ill dude. Y'all, that's why y'all click so much, man. Cause y'all got those.
Every time I come over there, he's, hey, guess what? I got to do this.
Everything.
I thought this dude was really going. He was going like, oh, she's going to pop out the closet next week.
Like I made a real person.
Yeah, he really Frankenstein.
Weird science. Weird science ass shit.
But yo, the last step in it that made it start getting a little on the creepy side. I was like, all right, now I can talk to it. It can talk back to me. I can work at the same time and just say, dude, it's like having an engineer or whatever.
Right.
But then I was like, what if I could make it smart? Not just static responses to static things. So it would be like, I would say like, track this beat out.
Yeah.
And the computer would say, how many bars do you want to track? And then you say 32, and it says tracking your beat out in 32 bars, and then it sets the thing to 32.
You was ahead of the game, bro.
Yes.
You was ahead of the game. You still are ahead of the game.
All of that probably took from zero to that point was probably 8 weeks.
That's scary.
Of knowing zero code, zero how I'm gonna do any of this, to having that.
Yo, where does this come from, yo? That's what I'm trying to figure out, yo. There's an anomaly about you. There's an anomaly, and it's an anomaly, so you really can't pinpoint this. I wouldn't.
You're a Virgo, right?
Yeah.
So you know how Virgos is. You can't just tell.
What is your X-Men story? When yo, tell me how you became a mutant, bro. Because it's like, yo, it had to be something where the way your mind works is very unique, bro. I mean, it's very unique, bro. And you are ahead of your time, bro. Like, all right, let me ask you this: what does legacy mean to you at this point in your life? What does your legacy mean, and what does legacy overall mean to you at this point?
Just leaving your mark. Like, for instance, I was watching something last night. A ad came up, or commercial for something about Richard Pryor that's coming out.
Okay.
And I'm like, a lot of comedians out there, millions of them, some good, some. Why are they doing a special on Richard Pryor this far after? That's legacy. It's not Richard Pryor Day, not his birthday, not nothing in the news about it.
Right.
Just, you that great.
That great, man.
Here's another documentary about
another one.
To me, that is a legacy.
Okay.
To be called a pioneer, to make a noticeable shift in the landscape, and not only in one landscape, different landscapes, and not only different landscapes, several times throughout your life, to where you could be like, the change in XYZ was because of that.
Yeah.
And then again over here.
Yeah.
And now here's the damn documentary.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That's the legacy. 30 years later, here's a documentary.
Come on, man, and the board is lit up, man. Like I said, it's like those dots connected, man. When you're in school, your teacher give you that connected dots paper, and it's not until you watch every dot connect fully till you can look at the whole picture and say, oh, it's a kid playing baseball in the park. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you mess up the dot, you can go back a race because you realize you made them wrong. You know what I mean? But it's just watching the dots connect, man. So it's powerful that you said that and you're aware of that. And you're definitely fulfilling your life's purpose, man. I'm watching it. I bear marvel to it. I thank you for taking the time out, man. Let the people know where to follow you, how to watch the podcast. I'm going to tag you up.
Appreciate you. Man, this is SoundOracle. You can follow me on Instagram at SoundOracle. You can go to my website, SoundOracle.net. On Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, I'm SoundOracle. And also every Friday, 4 p.m. on my Instagram page or on YouTube, you can check out the Unquantized podcast. It's me and my co-host, Trizza. It's a producer podcast, man. It's live and interactive. If it's anything you want to know as a producer, you can just ask us in real time. We'll answer you. The vibe is a community vibe. Everybody in there is going to take to you. Everybody in there knows each other. They work together now. It's amazing, man. So check it out Fridays at 4 o'clock, man. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah. MacGyver, anything you want to let the people know? What you working on? Where to holler at you?
Man, just holler at me at DJ MacGyver everything.
Yo, it's man.
DJ MacGyver everything. You probably gonna be like right here.
Yeah, it's gonna be up one there somewhere.
One of them joints
right here.
Control the narrative. Episode 4. Peace and love, beloved. We out.